Welcome to Bleav in 76ers with your hosts, former 76ers point guard Eric Snow and two Sixers fanatics in Marcus and Teja Dash. Bleav in 76ers is presented by betonline.ag.
The biggest betting weekend of the year is finally here, which means more updated odds and props for Super Sunday. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. We have hundreds of prop bets, MVP odds, and exclusive in-game live betting. BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline offers you everything and more to enhance your game day experience. Visit the website today and make the game day action count a little bit more. BetOnline, the game starts here. Want to make some quick cash while enjoying the big game with your family and friends? Together with our friends at Underdog, we got a few exciting things to share with you. First, if you've yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code CHIEFCONCERNS, that's one word, to claim your free pick plus first-time deposit offer up to 1,000 smackaroos in bonus cash. New users will also get a Travis Kelce free pick for every new customer who signs up on Underdog before the big game. Secondly, for all existing Underdog users, Underdog is offering a no-sweat Sunday entry for all users, which means that everyone will either cash in on their big game entry or get their money back in bonus credit. If you have no idea how to play, well, we got you covered. Over the last 5 weeks, we have given 19 selections and have cashed on 15 of them. Pretty good. Predicting higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. So we are ready to continue this heater into the big game between the Chiefs and Eagles and beyond into the NBA season. So let's make this money and have a damn good time. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bleav in 76ers podcast. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary 76ers point guard Eric Snow and my brother Teja Dash. So 76ers world, things are not looking good since our last show. Things have gotten worse, progressively worse by the day. But Philadelphia Eagles, they beat me and Teja's Chiefs last Sunday, so at least the Philadelphia fans have that to be happy about. Whereas us on this show, it's not been good. It was Super Bowl Sunday. We started off that
not
time
all of us on this show.
No, yeah, no, not all of us.
All right, okay. Make that clear. Because I told you guys it was going to be a what did I say?
You made it clear with your green that you're wearing today.
Yeah, I put
that
you
did it on purpose, right?
On purpose.
Okay,
that is on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely on purpose.
Yeah.
But I did say they would win, and I said that it wouldn't. I didn't say it would blow them out, but I said it wouldn't be
close,
kind of like close.
Yeah.
If you would have guessed they never blitzed, I would have called you like a Nostradamus, but Snowstradamus or something.
Yeah, I couldn't guess that, but I did think that I just thought that. I mean, we all know them. Philly easily could have won the last time, and I just thought they were better now. I just thought once they got there, like they were either Saquon was going to go off, or they were going to overextend. I thought they could just score more. I mean, at the end of the day, I thought Philly could just score more and play a little better defense. Even though most years Casey's defense has been underrated, this year I just think they just got worn out.
Yeah,
we did stop Barkley of all unlikely things. That
under 60 yards,
but
I mean, you stopped them, but you opened up gaps.
Yeah.
And that's what the game is. Like, you take away one thing, we gonna do something else. Like,
I think overall the defense played pretty well, but when your offense gives up 14 straight points pretty much on 2 drives, it's like our offense killed our defense pretty much in that game.
Yeah, that game was reasonably still within reach. And then you got the pick 6.
Yeah.
And
then the pick to the 10
yard. You kind of feel like then Philly get the ball back, and then they punt it down, or either threw the interception.
Interception to the 10 yard.
Threw the interception, and then what was the first play? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wrap. 24-zip, you ain't coming back.
No.
Well, if D-Hop catches that ball, maybe get some momentum going before halftime, but D-Hop drops that ball, and that was it.
We kept waiting for the next benchmark to happen. It was like, all right, well, if we do it here,
but
we're
look,
okay.
at the end of the day, like it was 24-zip, and yes, the offense wasn't playing well, but they were deep into your territory almost every possession.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We never could flip the field position.
So
rough.
Anyway, let's talk our Sixers since
we got to do that. Yep.
The green in the parade is going on, and nobody do it like Philly, man.
Yep.
I'm happy for Philly.
Yeah, happy for the Eagles fans, especially with what's going on with the Sixers right now. Happy they have something to cheer for. But hopefully, make a surge after All-Star break. But we'll talk about some of the things headed into All-Star break. So since our last show, we had a 0-effort dominating loss to the Pistons. A brutal loss.
You say 0 effort?
I mean, it was pretty bad. I mean, Malik Beasley looked like an all-star in that game.
Man. Okay.
Brutal loss to the Bucks, close losses to the Raptors and the Nets, but shouldn't have been losses. But the biggest story comes Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, Teja and I, we saw Super Bowl Sunday going down fast, right? First, the Bucks game, second quarter, Lisa Salters releases a report about Joel Embiid, telling her that he, quote, it will likely take another surgery and a long recovery period to get his knee right. So you hear that, and I'm like, okay, signs of the Chiefs losing later on the day. I should have saw that coming. But hearing this report about Embiid saying he might need another surgery and it'll be a long recovery period, what were your thoughts on this? And obviously, Eric, you've been kind of saying all year that this is maybe trending in that direction. But what were your guys' overall thoughts on this? How shocked were you?
I wasn't shocked at all. I wasn't expecting that information, but I wasn't shocked to hear it, that may be the outcome. I don't want to say it was done like it was spoken for no reason. I know Lisa's not really going to say anything unless she's confident that she got it from the right source or the right person. So I believe whoever told Lisa wanted it to be out, wanted it to be said, and wanted it to be out. So I don't know who Lisa spoke to, but obviously Joel and his people has to be somewhat in the agreement to it, because I haven't heard anyone kind of from their camp deny anything. Have you all? So I haven't.
No.
So I mean, it really comes down to, if that's the case, well, when should you do it? Should you wait? Should you just do it now, or are you waiting to see if you actually get in or eliminate it? Or do you just do it and eliminate yourself? Pretty much. So I guess those are I think that's sort of the first sign of, we may kind of like, I don't want to say the word tank, but we may kind of like pull back on trying to do much. I just think I think that's the first thing.
Pull back on winning.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing. And then Joel eventually, playing. We'll see what happens after the All-Star break, like how they play. I believe, do we open with a back-to-back? Or I know it's 2 games in the first 3 days. It'll be interesting to see like how we start the back end of the whatever, around 30 games.
Our next game's against the Celtics, is that right?
Yep.
It's a good start.
At Boston.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see like how we start. Like that'll tell me a lot as far as, are we really trying to get into the playoffs? I mean, because you got to think that the Bulls are like, would rather not, based on the moves that they made. When their young guys will play hard and compete and try to get in there from a player's perspective, but I don't think the organization would be totally against not making it. So I expect them to kind of tap out a little more. So what are we going to do? Like, I don't know. Like, don't know. I don't even know what's the draft situation. We have to lose more to keep it or something.
Well, it all depends on the lottery ball, but right now you have to be top 6. It's top 6 protected. So for top 6, we keep it. Right now we're tied for 6th. But that's standings. We still have to do the lottery. You could be 3 and not get top 6 if you have a bad drawing in the lottery.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen to Philly.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, so
if the Spurs can get all those number 1 picks, we can stay in the top 6 at least. You come on, man.
I looked it up earlier. So 6th worst record. It gives you a 34.8 chance to be top 4 and an 8% chance to be pick number 1 overall, which is only 6% less than the Wizards, actually. So it's actually not even that. It's not even that improbable to get number 1.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But 5th pick would be, your 5th worst would be 42% chance top 4, 10% chance at top pick. So it makes it every level up makes a difference here. So
and the Bulls, their first round pick, it's top 10 protected, so they have a reason to, not make the play in or make the playoffs either, if that's where they want to go with, because if it's outside of 10 and San Antonio gets their pick.
What trade is that from?
Is that DeRozan? Like a couple of years ago? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
it
maybe.
Must be.
Maybe.
Who knows?
But, yeah, I mean, we're not going to get lower than 5 because Washington, Utah, Charlotte, New Orleans, pretty rough situations right now with those. Utah plays hard every night, but I just don't think – I think over the long haul, I think that's going to be the top 4 in any order. But 5th and 6th and 7th, I think is up for grabs between Brooklyn, Toronto, and us.
Based on the way the last few games look, it'll be us.
I know. Yeah, we lost to both those teams.
But kind of like I said, Joel played against Toronto and not the Nets.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's hard to gauge, man. It really is hard to gauge. Have they announced how long Maxi's out?
No.
Nope.
I don't know, man. I guess maybe I shouldn't say it, but sometimes I think it. When guys sit out nowadays in the league, it's hard to really know if it's legit or how. Now, maybe that's not the right way to say it. It's hard to know how legit it is.
Yeah.
Like, is this a long-term injury? Or is this, he going to be out for a week, or could he play? Like it's hard to kind of know. I'll be watching. I'll be set to watch, and then they'll pop up the starting lineups, and somebody's out that I didn't know anything was wrong with them.
What about when you combine a guy being out with like a Maxi's previous game, where it was a very odd game for him, only taking a handful of shots and not making a shot at halftime? It something was wrong, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I believe something was wrong, but he still played 34 minutes.
I know.
That's what confused me by it. It's like, but you played the minutes.
Yeah.
And then they say something was wrong. Like, well, nobody could see that within 34 minutes to either take him out or see what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird how Nurse said after the game, he goes, I might be speculating here, but I don't think I think Tyrese is maybe dealing with something physically. And then the next day, he wasn't on the injury report, and they gave him a late scratch right before the Raptors game or the Nets game. So I thought that was interesting as well.
Yeah. What's also weird about the Embiid thing, too, is that report from Salters came pretty soon after Morey just said that between the 7 or 8 doctors and specialists they just talked to, that, things are healing, just not as fast as they wanted them to, but it will be fine eventually. And then all of a sudden you hear Yeah, probably have to get another surgery. It's like that's a quick update after another update.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to pull a hard and hold up the Maury's a liar sign or anything, but I mean, it's just conflicting reports like 2 days after. It's too soon to have a totally different report. But when I watch Embiid play, it's like he does look better. I will say that. When I watch him, he's more fluid than he was at the beginning of the season. He does look better out there. But it's the problem. It's not just what you see from Embiid on the court when you see him play. There's two other factors out there. How's he going to feel tomorrow, which we have no idea what that is, and can he make it through a playoff series as he is? How is he going to make it through? How's he going to be tomorrow? No clue. Can he make it through a playoff series the way he is? I don't think so. I don't think he can make it through a 7-game series right now, play every game.
I mean, there's no back-to-backs in a playoff series. So
I mean, that's the one thing about the playoffs is that you do have days in between, and sometimes multiple days, especially if a series ends, and especially in the first round where they stretch the series. But do we still believe that we can go in there and win? Like, the play-in game is the way it looks like it'd be 2 road games.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. I hadn't looked at the standings of who's that. Who would that be? Atlanta and if we knock Chicago out, who are the other 3 right now? Miami, Atlanta.
If we were the 10 seed, we'd play Miami in Miami, and then we'd play the loser of the Orlando-Atlanta game today.
Yeah. All those tough in one game.
Yeah.
Now, I think we could beat all 3 of those teams in a series. Hell, if guys are playing in a series. In one game, that's different, especially one game on the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
tough, man.
Especially if everyone's out every other game. We're never going to have continuity or chemistry.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, too. After the Toronto game, when Embiid was being asked questions by the media, he pretty much said that, it's all about getting a rhythm and finding consistency. I don't play back-to-backs. It's just all about getting consistency and getting into game shape. But, if you're never playing, if you're playing, once every 3 games, how the heck are you going to find that consistency and get into game shape when the way you're getting into game shape is by playing games that you play once every 3 games? It's hard.
Catch-22. I got to play to get into game shape, but I don't play every game. So how can I get in game?
I think at the end of the day, when he went through that stretch where I think he was at his lab when they went west, and they came back and he missed all those games, and they said it was his foot, and now it's his knee. That stretch really kind of changed the direction to me of where the team was going. I felt at that point if they could get him to play even every other game, that they could kind of start making the push. But then when he missed so many consecutive games, then all of a sudden the other guys are missing, and it's like it just can't be one guy. Okay, if it's Joel, okay, we kind of conceded that he's missing games. But we never got to the point where it was just him. Just him. Martin missed a lot of games. Paul missed a game. Now Maxi's missing games. And Maxi missed some games earlier. So it's just we never had a situation where it was just, okay, well, Joel's out. We're going to roll with everybody else. Drummond, I don't even know what's Drummond's issue.
It's mostly everyone except for Oubre misses games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Drummond's been out for a minute.
Yeah. Gordon's out every few games. Lowry's missed time.
McCain.
McCain, definitely. Yabusele's even missed a couple games here and there, too.
Yeah, probably he's dealing with some knee thing.
I think the only consistent player who's played the majority, like the high percentage, like 90, 95% is Oubre, right?
Yeah, that's why a lot of fans got mad at Embiid for calling him out for effort on that in that one defensive fast break because he's played more than anybody on the team has this year. Yeah. I mean, what 4 days ago, you have Josh Harris telling the Inquirer, quote, "I'm really optimistic that we're going to make a playoff run now." And that was obviously before these games, but I mean, do you think? I mean, I know they're talking about potentially not wanting to win games here, potentially a tank without saying the word tank, but do you think for Josh Harris' standpoint, he spent a lot of money this offseason. Paul George is not getting any younger. Embiid's the injuries are only starting to mount up more. I mean, do you still think they are going to want to try to at least get a playoff run? I mean, we did spend a lot of money this offseason.
I think they will because I think it's. I Bleav it looks a lot worse if this team doesn't even make the play-in. I think it's bad if they don't make the top 8, but if you don't make the top 10, people aren't going to care about injuries because most people think you got a top 10 squad even with Joel in and out of the lineup.
Unless they shut George and Joel down, then we have an excuse.
But that's my point. So if you shutting them down, then why'd you sign them? Why'd you sign them? I'm not saying that's fair. I'm saying what's going to be said. Because that's a year down. Now you got 3 more years, and you're supposed to, and I'm supposed to go into next year thinking that
we have a shot.
It's going to be better. So how can you build the faith? How can you build the momentum? How can you build the cohesiveness and all this stuff that they're talking about if they can't even if next year is going to be the first time that they went into the playoffs together?
Yeah.
At least get in there and see how it feels to play with each other in the playoffs, even if it's just one play-in game. That one play-in game is supposed to be like a Game 6 and Game 7. It was Game 6 for 7 and 8, and this is Game 7 for 9 and 10.
Well, let me ask you: you'd rather, let's say would you rather get in the play-in and lose in the play-in, or have the 6th pick overall?
I'd rather try to get into the play-in. I just think with the team that we have and where we're supposed to be going, I don't know if not making the top 10. I don't know what does that do. If you're going to sit those guys out, then I still think you can make it with sitting one of those guys out. You should still make the top 10. Like Chicago just gave their team away.
I know.
So they gave their.
They're trying to tank, and they're still making.
They gave their guys away, and we have guys that are in and out the lineup. Like we can't make up 2 games with the Bulls. I mean, the Bulls were just down 42 points at halftime, or 40-some points at halftime, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just if I thought the Bulls were trying to win, like if they either kept their guys or they made moves to tell me that they were trying to win, but the moves that they made tell me that they were tapping out.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it.
The Bulls are disappointed with us because we keep losing.
I know. They're like, dude, you serious?
Yeah. I mean, I will say, obviously, we didn't really talk about this, but Jared Butler getting the 2-year deal. Justin Edwards getting the permanent extension there, or the contract. I will say, Quentin Grimes has played well. Butler's played well. I mean, all these guys. I mean, like to Eric's point, we talk about going into the season. This is the most talented team, top to bottom, we've had in a long time, and talk about like kind of a good variety of young players with some of these the elder statesmen that we have. I mean, this is a really talented team. So to Eric's point, this team should be getting that 10 spot over the Chicago team.
Yeah, but we didn't make all-in moves though at the deadline. It tips their hat to how they're feeling about it. They pulled back for luxury tax reasons. That's not a team that's going all in for this season.
Yeah, but you didn't touch your core.
No, they
You know,
didn't. But they didn't
except for Caleb. You did for Caleb Martin, but I believe that that's a trade that they might have made for Caleb Martin even if you were rolling.
Maybe
based on how the season was going, like that move right
I'm
there.
more talking about the KJ Martin deal, though. That was supposed to be to put us over the top to get better. And now it looks like we were just trying to duck out of money.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you make a move that's now biting you.
I get it. I totally get it. But I mean, you know, if it was an all-in mentality that we have and we truly
I'm just saying, but if how can you make an all-in move like that?
The way we're playing,
take in more salary, the way that's what the deal you just made is looking.
I get it, but it's like they got to make a call. They got to make a decision here. It's like it's half-assed either way.
I'm just saying, but you can't think that more salary is going to help it.
No, just throw more money at it's not the solution.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, the way it's looking for what you cut salary and it don't look worse.
It doesn't look worse. That's true. It doesn't look that much better, but yeah. Now, I like the way Grimes and Butler are playing. I think they're good additions. They're really good additions.
No, I'm just saying the moves you made don't look worse. The team as a whole, still the team as a whole.
No, it's perception though, right? Like
yes.
KJ Martin was billed as we'll throw first round picks and throw KJ Martin down and get a guy and go.
Well, that's what we said. Did they say that?
There were reports that echoed that. That Morey wasn't afraid to trade multiple first round picks in order to make the roster better. They're not worried about the future. It's all about right now. There were quotes like that flying around.
Yeah, there was the KJ Moore and a first-round pick for DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith.
DFS, Kuminga. We heard Herb Jones. We heard a bunch of grandiose things being thrown out there. Some of it was speculation. I'm not saying that it came out of Morey's mouth. But yeah, no, but it's true. You said it's true. I said that a couple weeks ago. How can you expect, how can you go to Josh Harris's office and be like, I really think we need to you need to spend like $60 million in the luxury tax, dude, to make this happen. This is the year. It's like, it's not the year though. It's clearly not the year. I mean, you'd be lying to him.
I mean, based on Josh Harris's quotes, it sounds like he thinks we should get to the playoffs with the team that we have currently. So I think
he's trying to keep hope up so people keep buying tickets, is what I think. But yeah.
No, I believe that he believes that. And he should believe that because I believe they should. I believe they should.
Wait, like what? Make a playing game or make a run at the championship?
Playing.
Oh, okay.
And once you get to play on it, everything's house money at that
minimum,
point.
they should make the playing game. And if Joel can play every game because it's not back to back, and Paul can play going in, no one would be shocked if they made it.
No.
So you say
you'd be shocked if they beat the Cavs or Celtics.
Say for instance, Paul is feeling better, right? And Joel can play every game, right? And we make the 8th seed. Would it be shocked for us to beat Cleveland?
Right? You're asking me that right now after losing?
No, I'm saying, would it be a shock for us to beat Cleveland?
He's talking about if PG's healthier, if Embiid is playing.
He's able to play in every game. Joel can play in every game.
If we beat Miami and Atlanta to get the 8th seed?
No, I'm saying if we were to get to the 8th seed, right?
No, I think we have momentum at that point.
I'm just saying, like it wouldn't be if we beat Cleveland, people wouldn't be like, I cannot believe they beat Cleveland.
No, not everyone's telling me we're playing well.
I think people will be like, well, that's really what they're capable of doing if they play.
Yeah. You'd have a lot of experts actually picking that upset, actually, as far as a series. Yeah, there'd be some NBA experts who would pick the Sixers over the Cavs.
Once we give them reason to have hope, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we were able to make the 8th seed, whatever happened before is irrelevant.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Okay,
it's hard to see that right now with today's.
But that's what I'm saying. So what I'm really trying to say by saying that is, you get into the play-in. That's the only way this can happen. That can happen.
Yeah,
you got to get into the play-in, and then you can win 2 games.
But if I told you we were going to lose in the play-in, if I went to the future, got my DeLorean, and came back, if I said we were going to lose the 10th game, 9-10 game, would you rather?
I mean, that's kind of an unfair question because then I'm answering the question already knowing the answer. But if you're saying that, so either you want to try to do it or you don't. I want to try to do it, but I do understand for people like you that don't. I understand that. I understand that part. The player part of me can't do that.
I know. I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Without trying to get in.
I want to try, but I want to try if we have a chance, not if Embiid's on one leg and George is getting shot up every other game.
I don't think that's going to change very much. So I'm just saying, like, you got to make a decision what it's going to be. And I just think eventually they're going to have to make that.
Yeah, pretty soon,
but
I think.
If they leave it up to the players, they're going to get in. The players are going to win. They're going to try to win.
That's what's so sad about right now is that we are trying to win and we're losing to teams that are lower than us in the standings.
Yeah, and that's because you're still looking at us as the team that in the preseason. We're no longer that team.
No.
So if we don't have our whole roster and guys aren't playing consistently, then we can't be beat by anybody. Just like we can go to Boston and win on Christmas Day.
The way we're getting beat, that Pistons game with everyone there was bad, man.
I know. But those games happen throughout the year.
I guess, and
I'm just saying that's really no different than us beating Boston in Boston on Christmas Day.
It's true. It's true. I guess the problem is we're getting bit by only being able to see those three guys play together a handful of games. We expect a victory every time they go out there, but they're still learning how to play together. But our expectations are so high every time they play together.
I just think when they are playing together, I just don't think we're as good as a defensive team.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest issue right now. So that may come from a personnel decision of who you play with those three guys.
Yeah, because everyone's saying Paul George's defense has been the best part of his game this year.
I'm just saying, like, who do you play with those three guys? Because Joel's limited. Maxey extends a lot of energy on offense. What's going to be the best fit? I don't know. I haven't seen enough to know. So I'm not claiming either. I'm not claiming I know.
No, they don't. They don't know. So you should.
But I do think that's something that's will have to be decided.
Yeah, like we said, they need enough time on the court to evaluate. They haven't even gotten enough time to evaluate any of this.
True.
We're still in experimental mode, and it's All-Star break. Yeah. Like everyone compares us. I heard someone the other day. I forgot who it was. They were like, "Well, it didn't take Cat and Brunson that long to get along and have chemistry on the court." Yeah, because they play together every night. It won't take them that long if they actually play and practice together all the time. But we don't have that.
Yeah, I don't. I found it interesting for Paul to come out and say it's been a different adjustment to play with Joel. Like, I don't know where still trying to figure out where he was going with that.
But he's willing to learn, is what he said.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I mean,
you're getting paid to learn, so that's good.
Learning is not. I didn't think learning was a choice.
Yeah, that's part of the job. But yeah, sure.
So I'm still trying to figure out like where he was going with that.
Has he played? He hasn't played with like an offensive big man before, right?
Roy Hibbert, no.
I still don't know where he was going with that. Like, what are you trying to adjust to with Joel? What is it that you're trying to adjust to?
I guess a guy who has the ball in his hands a lot more than you do.
But he does not have the ball more than Maxey does. That's the part that's confusing to me. So playing with Joel and Maxey may be the issue.
Yeah, that's probably what he means.
He played with Kawhi, and then he played with James and Kawhi, but Kawhi didn't really play with James.
Yeah, it's true.
So when he was at OKC, it was Russ, and they played with Melo. But Melo, I mean, that's different. Like, that's not the same.
But Russ is a distributor too, right? So like, you
said Russ is or isn't?
Is.
That's what I'm saying. He's a 10 assist guy.
Yeah, so that's why it's easier to play
James
with him.
Harden is a 10 assist guy. So I don't know if some of that not playing with Joel should be with some of that playing with Joel and Maxey.
Yeah.
Two guys getting more shots than me.
Yeah. But I think he's had better games with Maxey solo, though.
Of course, because he's getting all Joel shots. Maxey doesn't take any less shots when Joel come back.
No.
That's the point that I'm trying to say. So it's not like, so who's making the adjustment when Joel plays versus when he's not playing?
I think he could have gotten away with saying, I got to get used to being the third guy in an offense.
To me, that's what he should have said.
Yeah. He made it a player.
Like I said, Maxey don't play. Like I said, he don't take any less shots with or without Joel. He probably take more shots without Joel. So, he doesn't have a drop in shot attempts when Joel comes back.
And we talked about this before in preseason about who's got to make the biggest adjustment. And we said George.
I said that was going to be. Look, I know we can go back and watch it, but I was like, how is that going to look?
Yeah.
How's it going to look if most of your shots are catch and shoot? Like, how's it going to look? That's different.
Yeah, because George's never been third man before.
But it didn't matter when they put that contract in front of
you. Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
That didn't matter. So the getting used to it and all that, like, that didn't matter. But now, since, it's, as of right now, it's not looking like it's working out. Getting used to playing with Joel just not an excuse that Philly fans are trying to hear. We all know that.
No. Yeah.
Yes. Let's take a deeper dive into Paul George. So, along with the team struggling, Paul George's struggles have continued. He's only scored over 14 points once in the last 8 games, and 3 of those games have been in single digits. More notably, after his 2-point output against the Raptors, ESPN's Shams reported that Paul George is playing through pain. Quote, I'm told it's to the point where he has gotten injections to play and compete over the last 4 or 5 games. That's something players do come playoff time, not necessarily in the regular season, end quote. We've discussed this before, but we were hoping as the season went along that it would look more like the old Paul George. So hearing this whole injections component to things, obviously we know he's got the torn tendon in the pinky. I think Shams also said that he still has lingering effects from the knee injury, the hyperextension that he had. Does this make more sense as to why we're seeing Paul George look, I guess, as lackluster as he has looked over the last few games?
I'm sure that injuries have something to do with it. But I'm also sure that 90+% of the guys that play in the league have lingering injuries. I know that to be a fact. So lingering injuries is nothing new in the NBA season. So if that's the case, then like you sit out, because saying I'm playing injured, like if sometimes your 75% may be better than somebody else's 90%.
Sometimes it isn't.
Sometimes it isn't, right? Then that's up to the coach to decide whether you're rolling or not, and to give somebody else an opportunity. But if you're going to be out there and you're going to say you won't be out there, then the excuses like that, they're meaningless.
Yeah.
Like nobody's really okay. You got it. So I know for a fact that, hey, we sit up here and talk about your injuries and you talk about it, but at the end of the day, he's talking about it. He's talking about his injuries. Shams, he got, Shams, who reporting this, not a local Philly guy, like a national reporter is saying, oh, he's done this, he's done that. And oh, look at him, he's still trying to play. Like, I get that, but people still aren't trying to hear it because they see what people do, especially in that town. They've seen people play through injuries. I don't have to name names, but they've seen people do it. They've seen people do it in the playoffs. They've seen people do it during the season. It's been done in the city of Philadelphia. So Philly's different. I don't know about LA and some other places, but Philly's different. The city of Philly and the Philly fans expect you to try to play. So, and I'll ask you guys a question. In watching the games, do you watch the games and say, oh, he looks injured?
Yeah, I did. I said that before this came out. I told Mark, I go, it's got to be an injury. I said, it's got to be.
I said, no. I said, do you not the outcome? I'm saying, do you watch him play? And when he's playing, say he looks injured.
No.
In his play.
I mean, specifically injured. No, he can't stop.
So
he can't stop touching that splint, though.
That's the question I'm asking you. I'm not asking you on the results. Do you think he's injured? I'm saying when you're watching the game, do you see him and be like, nah, he something's got to be wrong with him? Because you still see him driving to the basket, you still see him defending, you still see him doing all the things that he would do. Maybe he don't do them as well. So is he not doing them as well because of injury, or is he not doing them as well because he maybe can't do them as well anymore?
Other than him,
a change of scenery can affect that. Change of scenery can affect that.
Yeah. Other than him touching a splint every 5 seconds, no, I don't see him obviously injured. No.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, he just looks like a step slower than what the Paul George I've seen in the past. And I don't know if that's because of the knee injury, but like not being able to blow by Zaire Williams. It's like
so to ask again, if they would not have come out with this report, would you have said his decline is because he's injured and he's getting shots, and would you have expected that to be the answer, or he's just not balling? What would your answer be?
Yeah, I just think he's just not balling.
Okay. I think it's a combination.
So what I'm saying is now you kind of understanding why things come out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I told Margaret, I was like, you're going to hear a comment out of his camp soon saying, oh, I'm injured. Because he's seeing all the stuff that's being said, and he wants to know.
Well, I'm going to let y'all know the truth of what's really going on.
It's not because I'm washed. Yeah. It's because of X, Y, and Z. I'm not surprised at all that story came out.
And I do think that some of that is probably a reason, but I also think that change of scenery is part of that reason.
Yeah.
And I do think that some of it is Paul. I think it's a combination.
I think it's also a combination of losing and demeanor being lower. I think it's also a combination of being a little hesitant on a new team where you don't know what your role is. When you're already kind of a half step slower, that other hesitancy.
I mean, I think for his status and who he is and where in the expectations that were put on him because he signed that dotted line. He signed that dotted line. So he knew what comes. He knows what comes with that contract, especially in Philadelphia. If you don't know, you will know.
He knows what
comes with it. So when you do that, when things are going a certain direction and you feel like that's not the direction they should be, where's your trigger to be like, man, I'm changing this?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Where's your trigger to say I'm going to do something different? Now, I was a guy that could do something different, but I couldn't do Paul George different. You know what I'm saying? Like some guys just aren't capable or as talented to do what Paul can do. Now, my energy and effort and making sure I do all the things that I can control, I can do that. But Paul is different. So guys like him are different. Like you got to do something different. You got to bring the consistency in your game because of the skill level we know you have. So if the injuries are there, then sit out, do a job, sit out, play. But when you play, just play.
Yeah.
But if it's the injuries, like I don't want somebody to take a shot just to play. But if you are taking a shot and then you're playing, guess what people are going to expect you to do? Play good.
Perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing that because I've seen, obviously Sixers fans are going nuts about the way Paul George is playing. Some people said they blamed Nick Nurse, and I'm not. Nick Nurse has a lot of blame to go around his way. I mean, some of the lineups that he's put out there. But people said, he's not getting – Nick Nurse is not drawing enough plays for him when Maxey and Embiid are there. They're not drawing enough plays for Paul George. Some of these shot attempts, it's not enough. But the game where he scores 2 points, 7 shot attempts, no Maxey and no Embiid. You had the opportunity to be the guy that night. And then also, too, when he is playing with Maxey and Embiid, Kelly Oubre and Quentin Grimes, who just got there, he's putting up the third most shots. And it's like, I know some people are like, they're giving him the Tobias treatment. He's just sitting in the corner all day. Well, I mean, Oubre's getting the ball. He's the fourth option. Quentin Grimes just got there. He's putting up 15 and 20 shots. So it's like, well, who do you put that on? Is that just Paul George not being
aggressive? You're not throwing up plays for Jared Butler.
Yeah, I think that those guys' energy is different. I think they're getting transition baskets, especially from Kelly, maybe getting offensive rebounds. They cut more. They kind of play more of at a pace that's different, where they get more opportunities. And whereas Paul is probably used to being plays called for him or the ball being in his hand, and he can kind of dictate the action or the shot. So playing with Maxey and Joel, like the ball being out of his hands is different. So you may go a couple possessions where he may not really get a feel for the basketball. So some of that is coaching, where you have to make sure that we giving him opportunities. Some of it is on Paul, kind of demanding it and kind of being more assertive on the court. But if you have a guy that's kind of used to kind of let the game come to him, and knowing that as the game goes on, his touches are going to go up and up and up. But now you let the game come to you, and your touches aren't necessarily going to go up.
Yeah.
So now that's how you get into a 1 for 7 and whatever and get 2 points, because now they're not calling plays. Now, no matter what, the offense isn't going through, no matter how it's going. So that I can, that happens. So I think that's a total mind change from team perspective, coach, player, players.
And to support that, in 9 games with Joel, he has 9 20-point games this season. Only one of those came with Joel on the court.
Of course. That doesn't surprise me at all.
And I was just looking at him, first like Butler, who's fresh off the street coming here.
Yeah.
Fresh off the street. Butler has more points in 3 games. I think 1 less shot than him in half the amount of minutes. George has played 102 minutes the past 3 games. Butler's played like 52.
Some of that is the player.
Yeah, Butler I see him out there. He's aggressive. Yeah. He goes after it. He's chasing it.
So Paul got to be more assertive.
Can't be passive P. That's what he can't be. Oh, goodness. Okay, man. I could say a lot worse things with that P. We can go a lot passive P on me.
We know it's coming from you. We know it's coming.
Oh man, that's being nice considering what he could be. What he is getting. I'm saying would be. He is getting it.
We talked about the passive P thing maybe like a couple months ago. I remember that was one of the first kind of things we talked about was, calling him passive P. I remember, except one of the clips we have on our channel. So like, this is honestly, it's grown, but now you have the injury aspect within the finger now on top of the knee issue.
And Pinky P?
Pinky P, yeah. But he said the other day that he couldn't wait for the break. He said the break is really needed. Obviously, he's going through some injuries and whatnot. We talked about that the franchise needs to decide what they want to do as far as do we go tank or actually commit to try to get to at least the play-in. Eric, we're looking at our schedule. We have Boston on the Thursday when we first come back. That Saturday we play Brooklyn. That Monday we play Chicago. And then play Wednesday in New York. So we have no back-to-backs within the first 4 games. How long do you give it? is it going to be kind of a decision made based on how we do those first 4 games? Or is it going to be kind of like maybe a week or 2 before they say, "Hey, okay, let's call off the dogs. Let's be done for the season."
I think it's how far of a separation you get from the number 10 seed. I think as long as you're within reach of that, it'll still be in play. So I think it's more about that.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be big. We play the Nets and the Bulls within that period. So those are Nets are tied with us right now, and then the Bulls are a game and a half ahead of us for that 10th spot. So very intriguing first 4 games to start out the post All-Star break.
We've had 4 losing streaks of 5 games or more this season.
Wow,
it's pretty brutal.
It's really brutal.
Also, see a lot of love for Doc Rivers now. Everyone's starting to love Doc Rivers now, which is hilarious. People ran that guy out of town, and now everyone's saying, "Oh man, Doc was better without the Embiid lineups." Well, yeah, I mean, but now, never Nick Nurse is drawing up stuff in no one ever seen before. Tobias said we never seen anything like that, and now people want Doc back.
That's funny.
But so obviously with All-Star break every year since we've been doing the show, we always kind of have fun with this. Obviously, Sixers are 20-34 usually since we've been doing the show. Sixers have never been this bad heading into All-Star break. However, still All-Star break, still fun weekend of different challenges. So obviously, guys, we're going to do the predictions on the skills challenges that they're going to be going on this weekend. We'll begin with the NBA skills challenge. So you got the team Cavs, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley versus the team Rooks. I can't pronounce this guy's name. Zachary Riss.
The rookie.
The rookie team. Alex Sarr.
That's easier.
The Wizards. Yeah. And then you got Team Spurs, Chris Paul and Wemby, and Team Warriors, Draymond Green and Moses Moody. Who you guys have coming out of that one? Usually the home team usually dominates this one.
Team Spurs.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that one. Who's at Cleveland? It's Mobley and Mitchell?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Mobley and Mitchell.
I'm going to go Team Warriors. The home team has won that the last 3 years.
You said Moody and Draymond Green?
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay.
All right. So 3-point contest. This is a good one. A lot of good names in this one. Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Cam Johnson, Dame, Norman Powell. Who do you guys have in this one?
Well, we know you're going to go with Buddy Hield because you
go
with the home team.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
I'll say Darius Garland. I'll pick somebody different this year.
Ooh. I'm going to go Hero.
Good choice. That was my second choice. I wanted Norman Powell, but I thought that he elevates so high on the shot that he may run out of time.
Yeah, you gas too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buddy Hield's a good one. I mean, he's the second highest odds.
I like Buddy just for the Sixers element. He wasn't there. He wasn't here for long, but he was here for a good time.
Dame Lillard could win also.
He's the odds-on favorite.
I just thought that was the easy pick.
Yeah,
I want to pick somebody different, and he's back home too, so you never know.
That's true.
Ooh, that's true. He definitely wants to win that one.
The home team component. There you go. And then last one.
This would be his third, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
There's slam dunk contest. So
the what? They still do that?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no stars in this one. Jaylen Brown tried last year to make it a thing, but I went back to what it was a couple years back. So you got Matas Buzelis from the Bulls, Stephon Castle from the Spurs, Andre Jackson Jr. from the Bucks, and then the 2-time reigning champ Mac McClung, former Sixer Mac McClung.
I mean, we're all going McClung here across the board, right?
Yeah, I'll pick Jackson. I mean, I don't know.
I gotta go McClung.
But I'll pick Jackson.
The guy spends his time planning these dunks out all year. I gotta go McClung.
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty much in the league. I mean, he's actually a pretty skilled guy too. It's just, unfortunately he's never gotten more than last 2 games of the season playing for a team. But yeah, I'm gonna go McClung as well with this one. Although Stephon Castle, he could be someone too in this one.
Yeah, can only pick one guy though. So
yeah, I'm gonna go McClung.
McClung is -220.
Oh, he's the yeah, of course.
That's a heavy favorite.
Has a person ever won a slam dunk contest 3 times before?
Whatchamacallit did, didn't he?
Blake?
Nate Robinson?
Robinson beat Iggy. He beat Dwight Howard, or was it Dwight Howard?
Two?
Let me see. Levine twice. Nate Robinson 3 times.
There you go.
Jay Rich twice. I think that's it.
So a lot of 2-time champs. Okay, so
Yeah.
there you go. Elite company with Nate Robinson there.
Yeah.
Although I think Iggy got robbed that year that he beat Iggy, but maybe I'm just a homer when it comes to our guys. But all right, guys. Well, that does it for us. We hope everybody enjoyed the episode. We'll be back here. We probably won't do a show on Tuesday. We'll probably do a show on Friday next week to encapsulate what happened on the Boston Celtics game. Hopefully, we get a win on TNT. Been brutal in the nationally televised games recently. Yeah. But we hope everybody enjoys All-Star Weekend. We'll see you guys next Friday.
All right.
Have a good weekend, fellas.
Yep.
All right, guys.